Well, hello, I'm Karen. I'm with Veronica's Coaching and Tarot. Probably should get rid of the word the coaching, but I do feel like it's coaching because that's what we're doing here. We're coaching tarot. This video, I'm going to talk a little bit about just reading in general. Things to look for, ideas on readings. You can go to many videos. I have a bunch of spreads out there that we talk about and do practice readings for, but this is more on journaling, what to look for. I'll do some random pairs. I'm not going to do it too long, but just some general ideas when you're reading your tarot. Things that I've come across too, ideas. I am using, it's Barbara Moore again, Wizard's Tarot. I will tell you, I have fun with this deck. I like it a lot. I like the booklet. I'm telling you, when you buy decks, have a booklet of some kind. If it's not an actual book. These are great because they go into more detail on each card. And it kind of gives you ideas what to look for within the deck. But even a booklet helps. Like with my Black Cat Tarot and my Barbier, it's just a booklet. But it's nice because they have slightly different meanings, especially those, because those two, Black Cat and the Barbier that I use, they come from a different country, and I'm not sure where, but I believe different countries or ethnicities, whatever that word is, have different meanings. And I think you should, always respect those cards as they were designed and with their vision. If you connect to it, that means you're connecting to the creator of it, right? And sometimes it's just because you like the pictures, but there's sometimes where it's truly a connection. So I'm going to do, first off, like journaling. We're going to talk a quick moment about journaling. So if you're new to tarot reading and you are learning the meanings of the cards, one of the suggestions that I have talked about is journaling. So you pull a card. So in this case, I have the High Priestess, and I pull it out and I put it down and I look at it and I make note, either video recording, voice recording, actual write it down. What's the first thing I notice in this card? The very first object, right? So in this case, for some reason, I honed in on the pillar on the right. So then, what's the first color I see? And it's really weird because the only colors in here that are different are in the inside of her cape, and I am not even sure quite what that is. So I noticed that, and then I take a moment and I close my eyes, and I do a couple odd things too, but I really enjoy it. One of the things, so the next thing, I'll talk about that in a second, but the next thing I might do is envision myself in the card, and what do I smell? Do I smell anything? Is there anything that I smell? When I close my eyes and I'm not looking at the card, what do I see? I'm thinking about the card, but I'm not looking at the card. What's that? What is it? What do I see? Do I hear anything? Is there anything? And sometimes pay attention. You'd be surprised. I was doing this, I think it was the Four of Wands. I could hear music, and it was fun music. It was really light and I could just hear it in the background, and I liked it. And then I actually tasted barbecue and I smelled smoke. So it was very interesting. It happened to probably be a really good day for me to really get that deep into the card, and especially if you spend some time with it. So then I go, okay, you go through that process, and then you write down what it means to you. If you want to use the meaning of the card, that's fine. It's the High Priestess. We're talking about the all-knowing. They can see their future, so to speak, and they really, the High Priestess is very much spiritual card. But what does it mean to you? What do you see? Write about it, or make notes about it. You don't have to write, but make notes. What is it? What do you see? What do you feel? Does it bring back memories? Does it remind you of something? There's been cards sometimes where I pull on a certain day where I don't like the card. It's like I'm almost afraid of it. but really get into it. The other thing I do, I'm a creative writer as well, so I do kind of, but I use tarot to help me start a short story. So I will pull a card, and that is, I look at it and then find something about the card. You know, I allow my intuition or my gut or whatever to guide me to something about that card, whether it's the meaning of the card, something in the picture of the card, and then I write my journal about it, because I journal write frequently. And you know, and the journaling part of it is just to keep your creative juices flowing. So that's one thing. It's really a good practice to do that. And you can do that same practice when you're looking at pairs. So if you, I'm going to do 2 stacks. So I read this, I think online. You know, one way to practice reading pairs is just pulling, you know, putting your card in 2 separate stacks. And this is a horrible pair to get, but we got it. This is the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. Together, what story does that tell you? I will tell you what I see when I see this is someone, you know, got their heart broke really bad. 3 of Swords is pain. It hurts. And then the 5 of Cups speaks of not getting over it. This is a scary combination if it were to come up in a reading, because the querent is, if the 5 of Cups comes up after the 3, it means they're still stuck on that heartbreak. I would definitely pull some advice on this, because these 2 together would be really something to look for, even to the point of these people might need professional help. I mean, that's how drastic I would look at these 2. If this were to come up in a reading and I were reading it for somebody. Now, it depends on where it comes up. If it's coming up in the future, I'm like, you need to be careful of this, because it could spiral you. Going from the 3 to the 5 of Cups is a spiral. And that wouldn't be a good thing. So that's kind of thing. And what you can do with these 2 as well when you're you know, practicing reading, is journal these 2 together. You know, what does this pair tell you? You know what the 3 of Swords means. You know what the 5 of Cups means. Or even if you don't, what do these pictures look like together? And this 3, it's a mess. Like, it is a total mess. The opposite. It's like, you know, like a storm came in and just made the office a mess. And then the 5 of Cups, and she's just so sad about it. So something happened that was really bothersome, and then the spiral, the 5 of Cups, going from that to that. So that's one thing. And then what else was I going to talk about? So telling the story. Reading tarot works so much better if you think about it as telling the story. Put 3 cards together. I'm going to just take 3 cards. So I have 9 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Hangman. So I have these 3 cards together, and what story does this tell me? And instead of worrying about getting it right, making it right, this is a good practice. You could do this for yourself, like, you know, say, okay, what do I need to know today? This is the story about what you need to know today. I use that a lot because it's easiest. I don't put a lot of pressure on me to read exactly right and have this great outcome and all of these things, and then I don't get depressed if the outcome doesn't happen, and because I always read for the best thing to happen for myself. So throw them down, write the story. What's the story? Tell the story. 9 of Swords, Page of Pentacles. I'm looking at these cards and I'm saying, you know what? Here's this. If I fall asleep or if I let my guard down, I'm going to fall on these swords and it's going to hurt really bad. So whatever situation I'm in, I got to be prepared to be strong. If I am strong and I can get through this and not fall on these swords, I am going to have a great vision of some gift coming into me. And this gift is beautiful. And I'm looking at it with joy and just that rainbow attitude. I see that rainbow colors in that Page of Pentacles, and I want to learn something that's really important to me. Once I have that knowledge, I need to take it and I need to look at it, and I need to look at it at all angles. Just having this knowledge is not necessarily going to get me through this anxiety. What's going to get me through that is really taking that knowledge and taking the time out to learn. So to me, that was the story here with these 3 cards. That's how I see it. That's how I just tell it. And if you allow yourself just to talk it through, write it through, whatever's comfortable for you, you'll start really digging more into your intuition. And that's the key to tarot, right? The tarot is a guide to your intuitive self. When you're reading it, the best readers, yes, they absolutely use the meaning of the cards, but sometimes when I feel we get stuck so hard on that meaning that we can lead to maybe not the right answer. So, and another thing too, so when you're looking at a reading, and let me move these up. So I have one of the morning readings I do sometimes, or kind of like, what's the overall theme of the day? So I put the theme in the middle, I put a card in the middle, and this is going to be the theme of the day. And the left side of this is going to be the past influence. I'm going to talk here in a minute about the difference of this. So this is the past influence. The top would be the present influence, and the right is the future influence, and the bottom is the hidden or unknown, unseen. And then I flip a card and say, what's the outcome? Now, the reason why I do that is, and I always pull the bottom of the deck, because to me this is the energy. And it's funny because I have the 10 of Cups as the theme, bottom of the deck is Knight of Cups, a gift coming in. But when you are looking at a reading and you're using influence, the word influence, that means that this situation, this theme, this relationship, this happy ending, this 10 of Cups, which is the theme, these are the influences around it. So your past is the King of Wands, and that influence means there was probably a man or not necessarily a man, but someone with very strong motivational skills. Probably someone pretty passionate that was influencing he was the influence, or this feeling influenced this theme, right? It's not necessarily predictive. It's influencing. It is predictive in saying these are the energies that will be influencing. So the energy right now that's influencing this situation is the 2 of Swords. Taking off those blindfolds, making sure that you know what you're doing, making sure that you're looking at the situation, making a decision. That's what's influencing it. Again, it's pretty predictive. You're just saying that there's going to be a decision that needs to be made. And this will be what's influencing the now on this 10 of Cups. The future influence is the Queen. The Queen of Swords is not necessarily an outcome. This is the feeling or person that will be influencing the future of this relationship or this happy ending. And to me, that speaks of very intellectual stuff. This could be school, this could be learning, this could be a pointed direction that maybe in the future, the influence will be having that direction and having, skills or intellect, or however you want to look at that. So the bottom, to me, like, it can give us a clue what this is about completely. And this is the Fool. So this tells me this is what's unseen. We don't know about this. Well, this is a new adventure. So this is something you don't know. This is going to be something new, a new adventure that you're going on. So to me, that's something that you don't know about yet. You're unaware of. And then, depending on the other cards, you can kind of get into what that is. But this new adventure is leading to all of these influences around it, right? So this new adventure is leading you to make a decision in the present and leading you to make intelligent choices and to be smart about it and to be black and white about it. And then the outcome is that, okay, so I pull an outcome, I pull a 6th card, and that's the 7 of Pentacles. So to me, that tells me that what's happening here, these are the influences around it, but the seeds that you're planting, what you are growing, what you are making, what you are nurturing, you're going to have to keep doing it. You can't let go. So in the future, this process needs to continue to happen and will continue to happen because it's an outcome. So you will be nurturing this situation. You will be planting seeds. You will be watering it fertile. You know, that's how I look at the Seven of Pentacles, is taking care of something that you've started. Because you're going to reap the benefits of that. You will have to discover whether it's worth the squeeze or not, but ultimately that's how I vision the Seven of Pentacles. So that's the idea of having the influence cards around what you're doing. You know, like, they're not necessarily specific. When you do readings, I mean, go back and look at some of the spreads I've given. I think when you first start readings, pick one or the other. Either have direct point, like in your spread, like this is this equals this equals this, and this equals this. Or practice doing the stories, just pulling 3 cards and someone asks a question and you tell the story about their question. And you learn from that how to present what you see and feel in the cards. Like, that practice is huge on learning to present that information to your querent or whoever you're doing the reading for. So presenting is just as important as the reading, because you need to be able to articulate in one way, whether it's written, verbal, however that looks, to your querent, so that they can understand, that they see, and hopefully participate, because that's actually what makes it really fun. So there you have it. Just some cool ideas about reading in general, tarot reading 101, journaling, etc. Thanks.